I'm going to show you how to turn your hair into dreadlocks instantly, and you can do it yourself. But
you want dreadlocks, but everything you've tried hasn't worked. Or maybe you want to start, but you just don't know how. It can be really frustrating if you really want this hairstyle, but you just simply can't do it. I've also faced that same frustration with my hair not wanting to lock up. And I've spent the last 7 years figuring out the best ways to lock up my hair. And I've helped over 10 million people to lock up their own hair. So you clicked on the right video. I'm going to help you out. Now, at first glance, it looks like all of my hair is locked up, but that's simply not the case. But most of these are pretty well locked up. And these have been locking up for about 18 months now. And the tips still do need some help, but that's not my main concern. All of my hair is generally locked up, but there are a few that aren't locked up whatsoever. So look at this hair right here. I'm gonna turn this into a dreadlock because this is not locked up at all. And if you look at the locks next to it, completely locked up. Now, how do you turn this into this? Today, we're gonna be using one simple tool, and that is a crochet hook. This is a 0.75 crochet hook, which means it has a larger head. With the larger head, you're able to lock up the hair a whole lot quicker. In order to get the locks you want, you're going to need this tool. So click the link down below and get this tool. I'm telling you, this is the best tool for locking up your hair. I'm just gonna take all the hair that I'm not using right now and gonna be pulling it back. Now that I have the hair that I'm working with, it's time to start locking up. I mean, just look at this. It's not locked up at all. It's just not. You're able to just see these differences right here. This is a hair that's pretty well matured, just the tip isn't. And this one has not matured at all. So we're just gonna speed up that process. Now I want you to take note of a few things. This goes all the way past my chin. It's going to shrink a little bit. We're gonna see how much it shrinks in today's video. And you can see how this one that is pretty much matured is about at the chin. This one goes a little bit past that. So I'm not expecting too much shrinkage, but at the same time, this is an extremely skinny lock and it's going to shrink quite a bit. So we have to keep that in mind. So we're gonna take this loose section right here. We're going to twist it. This pulls all the hair into the lock that we want to be inside of that lock. I'm going to twist it all the way down. And you can see how skinny this is. It's not going to turn out this skinny once I lock it up. Now we're going to take our handy dandy crochet hook, and what we're going to do is we're going to go into the root about 1 inch above from the actual root. You want to give it some room down there because if you don't give it any room, it's going to pull at the scalp, and pulling at the scalp is very dangerous and can result in hair loss. So you don't want to pull anything from the scalp. And keep in mind, when you're using the crochet hook, take the lock and or the section that you're working with, and you will always want to pull towards your scalp. Never pull away because then you can pull hair out. So we have the hair twisted. We're going to go into that section, pushing through. So you can see how I'm through. So we're doing that, going through, we're through, and then now we're gonna pull back through. Once you pull back through, you wanna spin the lock and push back through, pull through again, and you can rotate back and forth. And what that does is it locks hair around it, and you just keep working your way down. So you'll be able to see that whole process right here. I'm gonna go in, pull through, twist, push through, twist, push through, twist, push through, twist, push through, and keep doing that process. I'm trying to get it to where you guys can see it the best way possible. But me just showing you to push through, pull out, and twist, and then push back in, that's all you have to keep doing. And what it does is it creates little knots, and you'll just keep creating knots all the way down that section. I like to speed up the process and pull some hair through in one direction, twist it, and then pull that hair back through, which knots it up as well. So I'll show you what that looks like. It's a little bit faster. So I'm gonna pull through like this. I'm holding it in one direction. I'm going down the lock, pulling it one direction, and then I grab the hair and twist it, and then now I'm pulling in the opposite direction. And what that does is now it's locking up that hair that I already initially pulled through. If you keep doing this, it creates it cylindrical, which means it's gonna look like a rope versus flat. And just within that time frame of me talking, we have this all right here locked up, and I'm gonna tighten it up and make it look better. Now we can already see that it's coming up a little bit, but we're gonna go through rough and make it look all like this. And then you'll also be able to see how long it's gonna take for me to do this. But see how quickly I'm doing that? I'm going in and out, twisting, and going in and out, twisting in a different direction, going in and out. And you don't wanna keep twisting clockwise or counterclockwise. You want to twist in those directions, but switch it up every now and again so that you're interlocking the hair pretty much. Because if you're twisting in one direction, it may look like it's locking up, but then once you let go, it could unravel but this, make sure that it's definitely locked up. And of course, there are people out there who are quicker at this, like locticians. But I mean, if you could do it yourself, and you can see how quick I'm just moving down this lock, initially locking this up, and it's really small section of hair. And that just goes to show that you can do it. All it takes is your time and your effort and knowledge on how to actually do this process. Down to the tip already. We can either leave it like this or blend it off. But before even blending off the tip, you can see how this barely is going right here down to my chin. I only took off about a ½ inch of length, and we are just about matched with this other lock. So I'm not gonna blend off the tip so it matches the rest, but you can just see within that maybe 5 minutes, and that's of me explaining it, you could see how this locked up really quickly. But we are gonna go back through and make sure it's really tight. So you can see that there's quite a bit of frizz, and at the same time, there are some loose spots. So I'm just gonna go back through, tighten it up a lot, and do my best to maintain that length. So let's start from the bottom again. Once it becomes more locked, then you wanna be more precise with what you're doing. And you don't wanna pull through all the way like that, like I'm doing right now, to where I'll just pull all the way through. You wanna be more precise, like how I'm going in right here, more detailed. Because when you pull all the way through, then that pulls the hair all the way through, which makes it frizzy. But if you come in a little bit more detailed, you're pulling that hair back into the lock, tying it all together. I've seen other people hold the crochet hook like this, and it's really up to you. Whatever is most comfortable for you. I prefer holding it like this because it's more comfortable, especially when it's me using it on myself. But say you're doing someone else's hair, then possibly you can hold it the other way. I know a lot of locticians hold it that way. But the issue with a lot of locticians is they don't teach you guys how to properly do this yourself. They want you to always keep coming back to them, and it can get really expensive. On average, people will spend $100 per visit on a loctician. And if you're going for a retwist or touch-ups on your locks once a month or even once every 2 months, that can get quite expensive if you don't want to spend that amount of money. Especially if you just want your hair to look a certain way and you can do it yourself. I'm telling you, if you get this tool right now and you use it on yourself and do it yourself, you save so much time, so much money, so much energy, and you get to make the locks look exactly the way that you want them to look. I'm just continuing down, and you can go through it as many times as you would like. You want it to look uniform all the way down. If you end up creating a ball, it can eventually create a weak spot, because if there's a ball, that means that there's a loose spot. So you want it to be even all the way through. So once you feel the hair starting to lock up, then go ahead and move down. And just keep working your way down. Once you feel it get tighter, move your way down, get tighter, move your way down. Even on my first pass through, it's not gonna go anywhere if you wash it, if you swim. It may loosen up, but it's gonna continue to tighten from that point forward. You sped up the process just by doing this and using this tool. And I believe that's where I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna allow it to mature the rest of the way. This lock is one of my skinniest locks. That's why it was hard to lock up, because that's really all there is to it when it comes to instantly locking up the hair. And you've seen how fast I was able to do it, and you guys can do this too. I can come back right here and tighten that up. I'll do it really quick. So you see how it's kind of loose right there by my finger. I'm going to come in and tighten it up. And even with a few pulls like that, see how there's like kind of a loose spot right here? I'm gonna come in and tighten that up. And of course, everything else can tighten up over time. See how it's a little frizzy, but this is, you know, me really close to the camera. This stuff really can't be seen from further back, and especially when you have all your locks in. And I left the tip to match the rest. Now the question becomes, what's gonna happen when I wash this? The great thing about washing this is it's going to get wet, and when you're washing it, it's gonna clean off the hair obviously, but it's going to wanna puff up a little bit, and then as it dries, it's going to lock even tighter. And that's what happens during that washing process. Your hair puffs up a little bit, loosens up, and then it locks even tighter as it dries out. And this is why I always inform people, during the beginning stage, don't use conditioners or don't use oils, because you want your hair to dry out in order to lock tighter every time you wash your hair. This is the lock I just did. See, it goes down to my chin, lost about a half an inch, and this lock isn't going anywhere, just like the rest of the locks. To get all you guys up to speed, I actually started out this set of locks by using twisting with gel. I used the Dreadlocks locking gel to do that, which is actually coming back in stock before Easter, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And all I've been doing is maintaining my hair by twisting it with gel and doing different hairstyles and allowing it to lock up with a 3C hair type. It takes longer time because I have a looser curl pattern, but I'm telling you, it definitely pays off. And what I showed you today with doing instant locks really works. You've seen how quickly I was able to create a dreadlock, and that's why I really love the crochet hook. This tool right here is honestly the best tool for dreadlocks. Even if you don't create your dreadlocks with this crochet hook, you can tame the frizz on your dreadlocks, you can blunt the tips of your dreadlocks, you can combine dreadlocks, you can even comb out your dreadlocks. I've seen that done before, but so much is able to be done just with this tool, and it makes your dreadlocks look exactly the way that you want them to. So yeah, I would encourage you to go get this tool right now. It's the best tool for your hair. And to all the millions of people that have watched this video, I hope I helped you out.